We have new head coaching hires in Pittsburgh. We have a new head coaching hire in Buffalo. We have a new offensive coordinator hire in Tennessee. Vegas, Arizona, Cleveland are still looking for coaches. Where do we want to start with this?
Um, does does anybody want to be the Cleveland Browns head coach? Uh,
Let me answer this question because to me it's a little bit unfair. Because the Browns head coaching position is being held up because Jimmy Haslam is insisting that Jim Schwartz is going to be the defensive coordinator.
oh no 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 no! You called him by the wrong name. It's not Jimmy Haslam. It's Jerry
Uh,
Haslam.
well, in my opinion, if Jerry Haslam would allow Nate Sneezelhouse, or however you say his name, to pick his defensive coordinator, he would have been the head coach of the Browns already. And I think the same thing potentially for Greg Uditsky as well.
Yeah, it leads me to believe Jim Schwartz is going to be elevated and just going to be named the head coach, which, he was not a great head coach when he was in Detroit. So we'll see if he's learned anything.
And that would mean that they would have just wasted the last 6 weeks, and they could have fired Kevin Stefanski about week 6 or week 7, and they could have made this decision and see if they got anything with Jim Schwartz. If Jim Schwartz or Todd Monken, God forbid Todd Monken, if one of those two guys becomes head coach of the Browns, that would mean this entire process would be worth nothing.
Yeah. Um, it doesn't surprise me that the Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals are the three teams left without a head coach because who would want to coach for any of those teams?
I mean, I would want to coach for the Raiders. I don't think that they're in that bad of a situation. If you like Fernando Mendoza enough, Arizona's got good weapons. The Browns just need someone to come in there and believe in Shador Sanders. Like all three of these jobs have some pluses. They're not all awful jobs, in my opinion.
Well, with the Raiders, you don't know how long you get to stay. Because,
Well, if I can fix Fernando Mendoza, if I can have Fernando Mendoza at my hip and we can compete, I'll be there for 10 years easily.
by the way, I think the biggest coaching news that we got out of today is not Joe Brady being hired by Buffalo. It's not Mike McCarthy being named the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's Brian Dable being named the offensive coordinator in Tennessee.
I agree with that. And listen, the AFC South, who knows what's going to go on with Daniel Jones? We saw the success the Jags have. We know what the Texans became at the end of the year. But Tennessee, with Robert Saleh and Brian Dable, that could flip overnight. Tennessee could theoretically be another worst to first team.
They really could. Like I said last week, I really like Robert Saleh as a head coach. As a Browns fan, I really wanted him. He was one of my top candidates. I think he got the short end of the stick with the Jets. It was a bad situation right from the beginning. Nobody was going to win in that situation. Um, and I think he's going to be great. But what are we doing, Buffalo? Like, you had Brian Dable right there.
I actually like this move. I like Joe Brady. I've been advocating him for the Browns job for weeks. I think they wanted to go with that continuity. Now, does it make sense they blamed down the coaching staff for Keon Coleman and Joe Brady's head coach? No, nothing the Bills have done over the last couple of weeks makes sense. But if you want an offensive guy to embrace Josh Allen and maybe you can get more weapons out of Joe Brady, I don't think this is a bad decision at all. I think Joe Brady is going to have success in Buffalo. Would I have preferred Dable because he has had coaching experience? Yes. But I know me and you, I think the biggest argument of contention we have is whether or not the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window is close. And
It is.
I think next year we'll have our definitive answer.
It is. I'm saying it now. It is.
So here's my question to you. If they make the AFC Championship game next year and lose, is the Super Bowl window still close? Do you
Yes.
so you say they have to make the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
They are the definition of Super Bowl or bust.
Can I give you my way too early, not putting any fire to it, AFC Championship prediction next year?
Sure.
Bills Chargers.
I I don't trust the Chargers.
I think Mike McDaniel is going to be one of the best hires of the offseason for that Charger team. I think it's a perfect fit. They get both their tackles back. I think Denver overachieved a little bit. They'll still be good. I don't think they'll be as good as they were. I think this was Denver's opportunity this year to win the Super Bowl. And like Buffalo, they didn't capitalize on it. Unfortunately, Bo Nix got hurt, or they might have beat New England. I don't think even if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, I think they'll still be good. And they're a very young team. They have room to grow. But we all know what happens after you play in this game. You do oftentimes regress a little bit the next year.
Yeah, as you have said countless times, and as I said earlier, success is not linear. But I will say this. Why did Joe Brady have success at LSU in 2019? He had Joe Burrow, but he went spread offense because he saw the wide receivers he had. Justin Jefferson. I want to say Randy Moss's son was on that team.
Was tight end, yes.
Terrence Marshall, I believe, was on that team.
He was really good for that. He wasn't good in the NFL, but he was really good for that team. Jamar
Clyde
Chase was on that team.
Yep, Jamar Chase. He also had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So he had who I thought he was going to really work with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, but obviously it didn't. But that point aside, he's like, oh, that's a 5-star weapon. That's a 5-star weapon. That's a 5-star weapon. We're going to go spread offense, and it's going to be our guys against your guys. And I believe our guys can win.
And against Buffalo, they've completely changed. And now they're using James Cook and Khalil Shakir and whoever else they could find off the street.
Yes. And I think part of that is because, again, Buffalo doesn't have a great group of wide receivers.
No, I mean, but again, to your point, at LSU, they went 5 wide. At Buffalo, they did a little bit of 5 wide, but he adapted. Is it the receivers? They're using Dalton Kincaid. They're using Dawson Knox. They're using Shakir in the slot. Like, I really like Joe Brady, and I like this fit a lot.
Oh, I'm not trying to discredit Joe Brady. I'm actually doing what you were just saying. I'm, praising him for adapting. But at the same time, I think if Josh Allen and Brady, for that matter, had weapons to work with on the outside, they might go back to that LSU style offense.
We'll see. They got to get the defense right. We'll see if they invest more resources on that.